Hey, what's up, fam? And it is rounding up the last three chapters that have came out recently for Memesis, chapters 28, 29, and 30. And as I've been saying, I can't say this enough. Check the series out. At least give it, give it a couple chapter read to see if you'd like it. It's a lot of funny scenes, good action, really nice art, entertaining characters. But anyway, let me get to the chapter. So wrapping up the fight with Devlin, Leon just decides, ah, fuck it, I'm leaving, and pretty just ditches Ash and Kajira because they ended up giving their warp stones away. They didn't have the opportunity to go back with everyone else because everyone else either has a warp stone or has some form of magic or flight. And Ash and Kajira now have to walk their happy asses back on off of a crumbling island out in the middle of like raging sea, which was they're always getting screwed over. And this was right. What's funny is I'll get to it right when in a minute of something that I talked about in a previous video that happened that was very important and then is kind of like ruined by this. But the succubus demon girl, I don't remember her name is, who's always she doesn't like Ash and Kajira. She ends up finding actually Devlin Loon, who's not dead. He, from everything that happened and him, he pretty much had to use all of his power to just to kind of preserve himself, I'm guessing. And when he runs out of mana, he ends up becoming like this little baby version of himself. And the succubus chick, who again I can't remember her name, she takes him away, and they end up going back to the demon world. So he the character isn't gone yet, and I was a little bit upset with the whole Leon thing because even though this dude is like he's done in such a overly overly dark like villain design, like super darkness bad guy. I think it's done intentionally to that degree, and I thought he looked really cool from that. So I want to see him again. I thought he's a cool looking guy with a badass sword. I mean, really, that's what you want out of a villain. Anybody that looks, you can just look at like that guy looks fucking cool. He looks seems pretty cool, and he does cool things. So sweet. He ends up going back, and what I was talking about recently is when Ash and Kajira and Rose actually as well, they had the rumors go around them, and then they kind of got famous, but it was ruined because everyone just said that they were dead because they didn't come back with everyone else. It took them 3 days to get back to the kingdom because they had to walk. So everyone ended up thinking they were dead, and now like all that hype they got is now everyone like, man, it sucks those guys who we just learned about all their good stuff are gone, completely screw over. Also, Jogi, what's funny is Jogi now has like this like stitches around his neck. I don't remember if he had those before, but he also has a partial demon arm. So I guess he's not going to need a sword anymore. He's going to have this like he's got like these crazy claws. I want him to stick around. I think he's funny, but uh, Ash and Kajira end up going. It's like a parade, a festival for Leon, who literally rides out of like an award ceremony on a Pegasus, while Ash and Kajira have a fucking donkey. And it's just they they get screwed over so much all the time. They get screwed over, and they're like trying to get there while Ash and Kajira are like they're like trying to figure out where he is, and they're stuck in like at one point they're like for some reason stuck in like some shitty dude sauna, and Leon is getting like personally based by like all these hot chicks, and he's getting like fed by all these hot chicks, and Ash and Kajir are just getting like shit nothing. It just they constantly get screwed over, and then when they end up seeing him, he's like, hey, do you guys want to join the party back up? And this is what I was talking about also in a previous one, that when they had their true emotions kind of brought back. They talked about how they were pissed off and hated Leon, but they still kind of wanted to be on his team, which gave a little bit of their character. It opened up a little bit more about them. And this chapter, you could tell that they want to be on his team, but they're not going to just let things go, and they don't trust him. But at the same time, they originally were buddies, but they want to rekindle that friendship, but that they don't think it's possible. But they still kind of want. They still have a hope for that as well. And Rose ends up getting invited to go with the two chicks. So everything just seems to kind of be dwindling away from them, getting ruined. And when they go, they're like, "All right, we'll just go and decline his offer. Maybe he'll freak out because maybe he's never gotten rejected before in his life." And when they get there, they end up finding like he left a note where he's like, "Yeah, never mind. I don't know what I was talking about. Screw you guys. Suck a dick." And then oh god, they just get pissed off, and that dragon forms again, and it just kind of like goes up in the air with looking really cool with the like the castle and everything like surrounding it. It just was very interesting looking, very fun and silly. It's a very goofy series, but at the same time you can take it seriously and not seriously at the same time, which is one of the things I like about it. But 30 is a little bit different pace, but I didn't want to do just one on 30 because it's kind of like opening an arc, so they're getting the closing and ending in the same video. So Ash and Kajira end up going back to the castle. You know, they see Lamuka, who's happy that they're not dead, and they want to go after Leon, who is decided to go to the world of the demons and fight them at their source. And Ash and Kajir just jump out like a 250 story of the castle and it's like fuck this, we're going. Um, Team back up with Rose. Oh, and Jogi. I'm remembering a little bits that I forgot as I went through it last time, but then they end up running into the gates that I'm using for this review, like that panel, this really cool, like big old tree twisted in like a city ruins with a big like magic seal on it, and the princess goes to say, "Hey, they got my permission to go in there." And the chapter literally ends with Rose just staring at the princess's huge tits and making this another goofy face she always does. So like I said, I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying every time I do a review on this, check Memesis out. It's funny. It's a lot of, you won't be bored going through it. It'll definitely keep you, you know, it'll keep you at a point where you're just like, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen next, but I want to know. And it just looked great. It's a wonderful time for a series to be not too seriously, but not too goofy is kind of like where I'm getting at that I'm conveying a little bit poorly right now, but I just enjoy it so much, and I would rather other people, give it an attempt to tell me if they like it as well. So, if you like my content, maybe give me a thumbs up on the video, maybe subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. If you are subscribed, thank you. I do mostly manga stuff, Fairy Tail Eden Zero Black Clover, and hopefully Gambler's Parade if it keeps going. Anime stuff, Fairy Tail, Goblin Slayer, and Radiant. So, like I've said again, if you aren't subscribed, I'd appreciate if you would subscribe. And if you are, thank you. Otherwise, thank you very much for listening.